All right, man. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, but whose side is he on?
I'm gonna say it. I want everybody to know
Oh,
what the hell is going on here.
what is he doing? My God! Is he the third man? He's the third man. What the hell is going on here?
Oh, Dusty.
So I'm looking at the Sacramento Kings and what they need to do this offseason. We've talked about it. There's been a lot of questions, a lot of back and forth, and thinking about different guys, about how do we get better? Do you go after a small forward? Does Harrison Barnes stay?
Mm-hmm.
Does Keegan move to the 3 and we go after a power forward? Like, what's the move? How do we make the move? And I was just thinking, man,
Mm-hmm.
you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm off base. This may be one of the few times in the next 2 or 3 years to really elevate your roster. And you have to make a decision. I'll put it to you like this. If you look at the roster with Harrison Barnes and you don't believe you can win a championship or be a championship contender, you have to move on this summer. And once again, tell me if I'm off, but I'm looking at the landscape. So Fox will be here. Let's talk about the guys who will be here under contract for like 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Fox will be here.
Mm-hmm.
Herder will be here.
Mm-hmm.
Keegan Murray will be here.
Mm-hmm.
You got Davion under club control.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got decisions that you've got to make that you probably want to bring these guys back with Malik Monk, with Domantas Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw Trey Lyles in there as well. So when are you going to have the money and if you sign Harrison Barnes, let's just say you sign Harrison Barnes, when are you going to have the money and the opportunity to elevate your roster in the next 2 years if you don't do it now?
So something stood out there. First of all, let's check in with Harrison Barnes.
That's the gratitude I get from you pieces of crap.
2.
Once again, the media didn't listen to me. I said, if you believe you can do it with Harrison, then you re-sign Harrison. Bring him back.
HP, what do you think?
That's the gratitude I get from you pieces of crap.
Why did you throw Trey Lyles in there?
Because I'm just thinking we all want him back and we all sign him, like that's probably going to be like a 4-year deal. Like he'll be here. Okay. He's going to be part of what you do moving forward. So like
have we gone over the Kings' money?
A little bit. Well, that's the other thing with the money. Like I know the cap's going to go up, but this is going to be probably the time when you have the most money over the next 2 or 3 years. You'll have that slot of $20 million to pay somebody. I don't think you're going to have it after this year. And then if you have it, who are you getting? It's like we talked about the trade deadline. Who are you moving out? It's not Fox. Mm-hmm. It's not Keegan. If you sign Harrison or whoever at the 3 or the 4, it won't be that person the following year. It's not Sabonis. Maybe Herder, but you probably look at Herder as like a team-friendly deal. You probably won't want to really mess with that as long as he's somewhat productive.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got him on a good deal. So free agency comes around next year. What are we doing? We're trying to. When the free agency come around next year, you're trying to spend all your money to re-sign Sabonis and re-sign Monk. So you're not gonna have a lot of money to spend that year. The following year is time for Keegan's, I think, extension.
It looks like they have about $27 million available
coming up this year.
The Kings have $107 million allocated to 9 players, and with the NBA salary cap projected at $134 for the 2023-2024 season, they have some cap space to work with if they wanted to bring in a free agent. So that's about $27 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume that doesn't I assume that's not, there's no cap holds or anything like that. That's just what they have. Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone's been thinking about Harrison a lot. And I think really what it boils down to, and while we're having fun with all the little sound bites, I don't think Harrison is plan A. That's
I agree.
my ultimate, I don't think they would mind having Harrison. I'd go a step further. I think they would love to have Harrison back. I think the idea of having Harrison back, though, in the Kings' mind, probably isn't the same as Harrison back in Harrison's mind or his agent's mind. But we've tried to speculate 1,000. Like, what does Harrison want here? Like, not here in Sacramento. Like, what does he want in this situation? Does he want the biggest contract he can get? Does he want to continue to build with this team? Does he want to, stay put here in Sacramento? Does he want to win a championship? Does he want to go to one of the many teams that we hear about every year, coveting Harrison Barnes? Does he finally want to play for the Boston Celtics, as every East Coast media member has speculated on for at least 4 years now? But I'm having in how aggressive Monty was last offseason or last trade deadline with Domantas Sabonis, and really how aggressive he was this past offseason with Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk. It's becoming more and more difficult for me to see a scenario where Harrison is back.
I kind of feel the same way. I remember when we were on Sports Sunday and it was like leave or stay. And I was like, I think Harrison's going to stay. And I think you said reluctantly, you're like, I think he's leaving. And as I thought about this exercise, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Unless you, once again, because the way I'm seeing this thing and everything played out, because the whole thing is you're about to start making commitments. You're committed to Herter for like the next 3 years. You're committed to Fox. You're going to be committed to Sabonis. You're going to be committed to Keegan Murray. And now at this 3 or 4, whichever spot you want him at, you're about to make another commitment. Do you think they want to commit to Harrison Barnes if they're trying to make a championship?
I do not.
I don't think so either.
And one thing that's two things that are sticking in my head from Monty McNair's press conference after the season. One, maintain and improve. Be just as good as we were on the offensive end. Get better defensively. That's the context of what he was talking about. Be as good as we were offensively. Get better defensively. Two, if we really want to be content, like for what we did this year was great. Like that's this year, 48 wins. Like it's great. Got to the playoffs. Good. Tremendous. That's not like, are we staying there or are we getting better? And he brought up, 3 seeds are generally 50+ win teams. Yeah. We've got to figure out a way to be a 50+ win team. We've got to be back here next year. And the way Monty was talking, Monty wasn't talking about being back in the playoffs. Monty was talking about being back near the top of the Western Conference. And as valuable as I believe Harrison is, the way you laid it out there a moment ago, it's the only spot where you have the ability right now to get better. Now, the ability to do something doesn't mean you can do it. And that's the tightrope that you're walking here, because you want to be on great. You want everything to be rosy with Harrison Barnes because you might have to go to him. But I don't think that's the first thing you want to do.
I agree. I agree. I don't know. You guys let me know, man. Call in or get in the chat or whatever.
We could post a poll question.
But do you agree with my thinking where this is the one time, and I'm not trying to do like when they hit the 9th seed and be like, oh, we gotta save money for Marvin, and
that happened.
I'm not trying to do that.
Outside for that,
but like, is this the moment for like the next 2-3 years to add an impact player. Look, next year, you don't even have your draft pick next year. Like, so that's why I'm harping on the draft pick and this money situation. This seems like a huge opportunity, and maybe the opportunity for the next 2 seasons, maybe, to add a high level talent.